So now you see Amazon and YouTube got together and decided to strictly block any hint of footage from Rings of Power displayed on YouTube, which I can kind of understand, but at the same time, if you're just abiding by the fair use doctrine and adapting the footage yourself, then you should be okay, especially for a review or a reaction video, which is my case. I had some things to say about it in my reaction video that took 4 hours to edit and 8 hours to process into a 22-minute and 55-second video. But no, Amazon threw a fit and decided they didn't want my genuine reactions to their masterpiece theater. And I even had some good things to say about the episode that I genuinely liked. But no, Amazon doesn't want to hear that. So now, since they don't want to hear my honest attempt at a helpful critique of their show, they get to hear me destroy their narrative, demonstrate how warrior princess Xena Galadriel is certifiably insane, and how Arondir is one of the dumbest characters put to screen in recent memory.
Wasn't that fun? Let's try something else.
So to begin, I can't stand these short-haired elves. It's just jarring. I mean, maybe this is what the showrunners meant to do to distinguish their elves from Tolkien's elves, but these are just not Tolkien's elves because elves have long hair, and these do not. So, for whatever reason, given this background with her elder brother, Galadriel grows up to become Xena Warrior Princess. And I mean, I noticed something on another note. This guy doesn't even get a good death scene. We don't even see this guy's death. You know, we just see him screaming in the middle of a battle of orcs, and then we see his body on a platform. So, it would have been interesting and fleshed out his character more to see that death scene like we did with Boromir in Fellowship of the Ring. And another thing about the geography of this version of Middle-earth, this map doesn't have Beleriand in it at all. Beleriand was a huge part of the lore, especially from the First and Second Ages and even the Third Age, and it was destroyed in the reshaping of the world after the fall of Numenor. So I believe we should be able to see Beleriand here, but we don't. So here, Galadriel is apparently unaware of the communication within her own unit and doesn't want to stop for her fallen subordinate. I'd say this is probably a mark against her leadership because she's not even thinking about. She's not even listening to the people around her. And I mean, again, with the short-haired elves, arg. So, I mean, another thing I noticed was, Galadriel demands to speak to the king in this scene. So, I mean, why does she demand to speak to the king? If she is what she says, and like a commander of the armies of Gil-galad and all that, wouldn't she have an opportunity already? She would already have an audience with the king, and she doesn't demonstrate humility here. Just like anger and resentment, I believe. So naturally, here, Gil-galad has come up with a plan to get rid of Galadriel. Early retirement. And I mean, I think that there could be some logical point to it, because in the Undying Lands of Valinor, there may indeed have been an opportunity to heal for Galadriel and to rest her war-weary soul due to the closeness to the deities of Valinor, the Valar and the Maiar. Maiar. I don't know. I know that, for example, in the Fellowship, not the Fellowship, well, Frodo of the Fellowship and Bilbo in the end of Return of the King. Return of the King is the book and the movie. they both get to go to Valinor because they bore the ring for a period of time. Still, Galadriel is convinced she still feels rage inside. Yep, I'm sure. Don't we all? So this is an example of Galadriel feeling it herself, and this is a more internal example of what she is experiencing. She's not tying this to any external reality. She's just saying, oh, I think this, I feel this. And yes, sure, the experience might be real, but if you can't tie it to external reality, then the experience is still just real for you. And by the end of the episode, Galadriel's had enough. I mean, she literally jumps ship. She jumps off the ship in the middle of the Sundering Sea. This would be the equivalent to a person jumping off of an ocean liner cruise ship in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Sir, he drove off the roof.
What?
He drove off the roof. He's on foot, he's running.
I mean, this take on the character of Galadriel is certifiably insane. I mean, she's nuts at this point. I mean, we're not even finished with the first episode, and this is equivalent to suicide. I mean, she doesn't care about the people around her or for her own well-being. She has no regard for life at this point. I mean, she has no plan besides to get away from this light of Valinor that she sees coming at her. I mean, even elves need to eat. Even elves need to sleep. I mean, how's she going to eat in the middle of the ocean? How's she going to take a nap? I mean, how's she not going to get eaten by sharks, fish, giant worms, whatever? Oh, right, plot armor. So it is at this point that the series, Rings of Power, abandons all rational thought and reason. I mean, it goes completely off the rails here, jumps the shark, whatever. After this point, at the end of the first episode, any explanation for any event can be given, and we just have to accept it. Or not. Because movie, because stuff has to happen, because TV show has to happen.
Next question?
Yes, over here. Right, Haven. In episode BF-12, you were battling barbarians while riding a winged Appaloosa. Yet in the very next scene, my dear, you're clearly atop a winged Arabian. Please to explain it.
Yeah. Well, whenever you notice something like that, a wizard did it.
I see, all right, yes. But in episode AG-4...
Wizard.
For Glaven out.
So, thus ends Galadriel's arc for the first episode. More in episode 2. And I'll be talking more about the other characters, I think, in that episode, because I really wanted to focus on Galadriel and her arc in this episode, because I really wanted to focus on, I mean, she is portrayed as just crazy. She's just shown to be, out of her mind. So thanks a lot. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching. Until next time, peace out.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.